Last week in Austin, there was a really terrible shooting involving a young Black man. This has been such a big story in Austin that my son actually talked to me about it because his friends are talking about it. And he said, "Why did they have to shoot him 20 times?" So, this is what is being reported. Before 4 a.m., the police got a call that there was a man in a park with a weapon. They show up to the park. There is a man standing there on the playground. He has his hands up initially, and then he lifts his shirt up to expose his waistband. They shoot him 20 times. I'm going to show you a video of this, and you can see for yourself. It's not a graphic video. Some branches are obscuring his body a little bit, and it's grainy, but it shows you the gunfire. And when he is already on the ground and a few seconds have passed, you see a police officer in the bottom left of the screen shoot him some more. It turns out that the phone call was actually made by this boy. So the police department said that it was suicide by cop, that he was having a mental health episode. He called the cops, he went to the park, waited for them, and then it happened. Would they have reacted the same way if it was a white boy? I don't know. He had a water bottle, not a gun, in his waistband. My big takeaway watching the video, thinking about this story, is if cops are so afraid of guns, why do we let people have them so freely? I spend a lot of my free time watching British crime, and when you do that, you realize how weird it is the way we treat guns in America. I personally believe the Second Amendment should be reinterpreted, and I think it's completely insane that everyone has guns. I don't own a gun. My husband has forbidden us to ever own a gun. And honestly, I would hate to admit this to people, but if you own a gun, I think you have something a little wrong with you. A little wrong with you that is wrong with our country. Because I don't have anything in my house that is lethal, really. Even my knives are dull. Does that mean I'll be murdered if someone breaks in? Maybe. But I think we take the fact that guns are lethal, I don't think we take it very seriously. In my British crime shows, even the cops don't have guns. They have to like rely on batons to beat people. And if there's a gun incident, they have like a special unit come in because it's such a huge deal. But in America, who cares, right? But in Uvalde, we saw a bunch of men in armor stand outside while children were slaughtered. And here in Austin, we saw 3 cops and 1 young boy shoot him 20 times because they were so afraid of the gun he didn't have. They needed to shoot him 20 times because of the gun they thought he had. I agree. Being confronted with the gun is scary. So why do we let everybody have one? Pretty stupid, don't you think? I do. I also think it's ridiculous that we don't consider healthcare a human right because of racism, by the way. That is why we don't have healthcare in America, because people don't want Black people to have it too. If this boy had access to mental health care, would this have happened? I don't know. We're waiting for the reporting on it. I do know that if a mental health professional had been there, perhaps he would not be dead. But APD doesn't have the funding for that at 4 o'clock in the morning. I think defund the police would have been a lot more successful if it had been fund other things more. But it's not as catchy, right? Why don't we have mental health professionals show up to things like that? Why just police officers who don't want to get shot? Sometimes it just feels like America is just truly the land of the insane. Like, what are we doing? We've been cobbling together compromises our entire existence to appease racism and greed. It is stupid that you can just own a gun. It is so stupid. And the rest of the world knows that. And that is why we have so much gun death in America, because we are stupid. muskets that you have to load to protect your land. That's what the Second Amendment's about. It's also about standing up against a tyrannical government. It's not about having undiagnosed mental issues and refusing therapy and just making guns your thing.